Okay, so today I got the transmission moved over from the old engine to the new engine. You know, it's not a huge deal. There's bolts kind of all the way around it. There's 12, a 14, a 14, a 14, a 12. It's 4 12s across the bottom. The automatic transmission pulls off. It goes on. There is a key, so the engine has like a circle like this with 2 slots in it, and the transmission has 2 like pegs that go into those slots. Got it pushed back together. Everything is bolted in. Everything's tightened up. At this point, really all that I have left is the pans. So while I have the automatic transmission out, I want to change the automatic transmission filter. So I did get another filter. So I'm going to drop this pan. I'm going to change the filter, and then the oil pan. Because I removed the timing cover and messed up this gasket on this side, I'm going to pull the oil pan and install a new gasket on it and just put the oil pan back on. I did plug in, I routed the harness. I plugged in the sensors on the transmission, so the selector switch down here, the reverse switch, the etc. Other sensor right there. So really at this point, the starter's plugged in. So I'm going to, my goal tonight is to pull the pans, both pans, reinstall the pans with fresh gasket material, get those on and get them drying. And then tomorrow I'll pick the engine up, I'll drop it in the car. One thing that's different, I pulled the engine out with the intake manifold attached. I'm putting it back without the intake manifold on it, and I'm going to take off the rear engine mount too, just because it got hung up here a little bit, and I just want it to be easier going back in than it was coming out. So yeah, so tomorrow we'll drop the engine in, we'll fill up the fluids, we'll replace the exhaust gasket, put the intake manifold on, put the exhaust manifold on, put the serpentine belt on, get the CV joints put back together, repacked with grease. There's still a lot of stuff to do. I look like I'm at the tail end of this, but I'm still quite a bit of ways. So, all right, so got the engine set back in the hole. I started working on the intake manifold is installed. I installed that inside the car this time, so I dropped the engine in, slid that behind it, and screwed the bolts in. I started plugging in the wire harnesses. So the harness here on the ECM, these go to the intake. I plugged in the harness to the fuse box here. And I'm starting to work on getting this thing mounted. So I got the rear engine mount in, the other ones are still open. So this one isn't installed, this one isn't installed, the front one isn't installed. I don't have the exhaust manifold installed, so there's, a bunch to go. I'm just slowly moving through it. So now that I have the rear engine mount in place, the next thing I'm gonna do is get these CV axle installed, and then we'll kind of get the suspension put back together. So today, got the Scion running. Well, I cleaned up after getting the Scion running. I got that going yesterday. I got cleaned up a little bit today. The seats were a bit of a mess. I have a couple things I still have to go over. I'll make a couple videos on cleaning the seats and getting through that process.